welcome back to Grumpy Grognard Gaming. I am Al, I am here with Matt. Say hello, Matt.
Hello.
Hello, and we are going to re-record this Compendium retrospective because we recorded it once and it all went tits up. So we found this new funky OBS solution and we're going with this. So even though I do have a physical copy of the book sitting behind me, which I was using the other day, we're just going to go through this PDF. And this is the road to second edition, Matt.
Yep, just to clarify, the recording went tits up. We didn't. We were fine.
Fine is a matter of perception, I think, personally. But yeah, I mean, it was the recording that went completely... Discord just let us down one too many times. And like Megatron, I'd had enough. I'm not sure if I can just... You have failed me for the last time.
Got Galvatron now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to go this way. And, yeah, we've done, obviously, Rogue Trader, so we're doing second edition eventually. But before that, we have got the White Dwarf Compendium, because this is where a lot of Rogue Trader was updated. And it was updated in White Dwarf, which is pretty cool, personally. You know, it must have been nice back in those days to get a White Dwarf magazine and have massive updates to a game. You know, it was such in its infancy back then, I don't think it would... I don't think they could get away with doing that these days with 40k.
Yeah, I mean, they just do minor stuff these days. Like,
yeah, very minor.
I mean, like they did the custom Legio stuff for AT, which was a nice touch. I think it went into the Titanicus Compendium.
I was going to say they do end up doing compendiums. They used to do it with Warcry a lot. So you get a lot of Warcry stuff in White Dwarf, and then that would end up in the in the compendium that they do. And I think they did a Necromunda one and stuff like that. But like you say, they're not. These are big sweeping changes to the game.
Yeah, these are updates to core rules. Like they're not fucking around. Although to be fair, like to Games Workshop's credit, they do PDFs. I mean, just look at the mess that 10th is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can play it if you download like 5 different documents and a 33-page rules commentary.
To, but you know.
But no, they do make it available. It's a fair point. But this was different. This is like a year, 2 years afterwards, and it's almost like 1.5 in many ways.
I'd consider it, and like it's more of an expansion than a compilation of fixes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's generally adding stuff. We'll see a lot of lore changes, and we'll see the Space Marines sort of slowly become more Space Marine like stuff that will stick around for at least sort of 6-7 editions. Up until they fucks it all up with
30 years.
Until they fucks it all up with the Primaris. No, Alan, you cannot click on OBS and scroll. You need to go to the actual PDF. I wonder how many times that's going to happen today.
You said you were going to do that.
I know. So annoying.
Prophecy.
It's just tricking my brain. It really is. Especially when I see the two scrolling at the same time. I'm like, oh, sorcery! Tech sorcery! Calling the main guy. So the first thing we're greeted with is Minus Colgar on the bog.
Apparently so.
And there's some interesting stuff in here. And they've got like a very weird blaster there. That looks a little bit like a lightsaber, which is a little bit weird. Down in the... I think you can see where I'm sort of indicating on the screen because I'm streaming to you at the same time. Yeah, this thing down here kind of looks like a lightsaber to me. And...
probably the hilt of a power sword and that behind...
It looks...
Why would you have
looks somewhat lightsaber-y. How could you use it with those giant mitts of his? They actually made this into a model. So you could actually get this as a model. Minus Colgar on a throne with his little cloak and helmet with a little separate stand and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Calgar.
Poopy Calgar. And I love that he's got a portrait of his big man, the Emperor, in the background. Love my Emperor.
All messed up.
And it's actually, what's really cool about that is it's a copy of an illustration in
Rogue
Trader, which is very, very cool. And that's what I want to mention, actually, because when we go down to the index page after older Minus Colgar, he's got a lizard to use as a paper holder. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. As you scroll down, we'll see on the next page, you do actually have Tony artist credits. Tony Ackland, Dave Andrews, John Blanche. There is, Jez Goodwin.
Look at the design studio list.
Wayne England, rest in peace. Design studio, separate to games development. Painters, including our mate Darren Matthews in there. Obviously Mike McVeigh. It's all credited, which is lovely because they don't do that. Production supervisor, Tony Cottrell. he who shall not be named and who shall certainly not appear on any live broadcasts
Yeah, poor
for
Tony.
Warhammer anymore. Poor Tony.
He offended 3 women. And
He
got
did.
cancelled.
He offended. Yeah, he offended some ladies, and they were like, "No, off to the gulag with you, sir." Anyway, moving on. We've got a lovely little contents page here with some ultramarines going pew 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 pew, and as you can see, there's loads of shit in here, and you know, a lot of this had never been in 40k before. This is exciting stuff, you know. Terminators, chaplains, and commissars for some reason. Medics, not apothecaries. Medics. The Badab War. You know, white shields, ogrins. This is all brand new. This stuff, you know, hadn't been in it.
Really surprised to see the Badab War in this, because obviously I've not looked in this compendium for what, at least 15 years, like Elf.
Yeah, long time.
You know, as a point of pride, and I remember stuff from it, like when we reviewed a robot section later on. This is where the flowchart programming bit that I remember from robots comes from. When we went through Rogue Trader, I was like, where the fuck is it? Like, I'm not going mental.
A frankly
And
terrifying
it's
piece of game design where I'm just sort of like,
but it's so good.
Rick, no, Rick, you crazy bastard, come
So appropriate for
calm down,
robots.
you
and stuff.
crazy bastard.
But like, yeah, and
Logic
so
flow
obviously
charts.
the Badab War got fleshed out a hell of a lot. I think it was actually the help me out, man. Bly.
Alan Bly.
That's the one. I almost called him
Rest
David
in-
for a
rest in
minute. I have no
peace.
idea why. Yeah, we miss you, man. Not that you know us, but we love your work. Yeah.
Oh, so
and
he
like-
hasn't been the same since. There's no two ways about it.
yeah, not quite, but it's still not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so the Badab War got fleshed out a hell of a lot, and I think that was potentially his first high-profile bit of work for Forge World.
Oh, right,
Doing
okay.
those Imperial armors,
Doing the Imperial Armor books, yeah.
I think.
Makes sense.
Because if you read the Badab War, there's 2 of them, the 2 Imperial armor books for it.
Yes.
The tone is definitely very much in line with the Black Heresy books that followed it.
Right, yeah. So it's like a precursor to those then, basically.
Yeah, and so when I flicked back through this, I was like, "What the actual?" And and the roots and the very basic layout of the Badab War is here.
Yeah, it started off here. Another thing to notice here is, look at this. Right down the bottom left-hand part of the page, printed by Pindar Print Limited, Scarborough.
Mate,
Printed in the UK. Get back on them. Get it sorted.
Yeah,
no
get
more
back.
of this fucking China bullshit. It makes
Sorry,
things
any
far too
Chinese people
expensive.
listening. But
Yeah, no, it's not China that's bullshit. It's the fact that, you know, it takes ages and they fuck up the product, and obviously GW are trying to cut costs. Just, you know, bring it all into the UK. It's fine. We could do some more industry here. Scrolling down, the Mentor Legion, to swiftly be forgotten. But I did like almost proto. God, what's it called? Stormhawk? No. Fire Talon? No. Storm Talon? That's the one. All you've got to do is just put Storm with something else and Fire with something else, and eventually you'll cover all the Space Marine names. But yeah, it almost
Eagle,
looks like
Raptor.
exactly, that's it. Some kind of bird and some kind of weather system. But it almost looks like a proto Storm Talon. So that's nice to notice. But that's a cool piece of art. It's, you know, David Gallagher actually's got his name on there.
Yeah.
But you can also see from this little logo, which is nice.
Which is good.
and
Scroll back
then-
up a minute. I think I actually took that page out of mine. I'm not sure why.
What?
Yeah.
Is
for
it
those-
sticky? Is it sticky, Matt? Are you a man?
No, I meant my PDF.
Oh,
I
I see.
just wiped the screen clean. It's fine.
Niskaran Fwal.
Yeah, for some reason that page and the Calgar one are missing from my PDF, and I'm like, why would I have?
You know, I don't think you have, because when I went through the Rogue Trader PDF with you, and I had to use the PDF because I didn't have my book to hand, it's under the stairs in a box, I had missing pages of actual, like, rules and shit. So there'd be random pages that were missing, so maybe it's something to do with...
This is all odd pages.
Fantastic.
PDF. What the hell? Christ.
So, yeah, maybe use Edge like me. I'm actually using Edge. It serves a purpose.
I blame the actual PDF itself. But no,
Well, I'm using the same PDF as you, Matt.
Anyone listening who played PlanetSide or PlanetSide 2, I think that ship in the stained glass window looks very much like a Liberator bomber from that game,
I never played it.
which is a good three-seat bomber.
But yeah, you go down. You've got the logo, which is an owl, which is not super scary. I'm not going to lie.
Wise,
the
though.
owls are coming for us.
Wise and still very killy. if you're small enough.
If you're small enough, if you're a small little rodent. But and as you know, we did see that there were Skaven in 40k originally, so maybe they're designated Skaven killers and they only operate at night.
A giant owl.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a nice piece of artwork. I do particularly like the backpack straps. You can see exactly how the backpack straps and sort of gorge it all goes onto it and everything. It's nice. And also they're finally using proper bolters rather than the las guns that we use. This is a Goodwin pattern bolt. Yeah. So down to our first article, and it is the origins of the Legions Astartes. So this is where we first see the gene seed and the implants, the 19 implants that make up a Space Marine. And this is all stuff that would carry all the way across, right up until they brought the Primaris out. And then, to be honest, when they brought the Primaris out, they only added to it. They didn't change it, didn't get rid of anything. In all honesty, this may actually be word for word. I'm sorry, people who are all about the Fem Marines, but this does actually say that it does need to be a male Space Marine. So sorry about that.
We knew that.
Well, we did know that, but I mean, let's face it, it's GW. If they want to change it, they'll just call it into existence. It's not a problem. But yeah, you've got all 19 implants here, all nicely described. And I mean, I would practically put money on this being pretty much word for word as what appeared in the Index Astartes books.
Yeah, well, if it ain't broke.
That came out. Yeah, very, very, very cool. A cheeky piece of artwork there. I don't know who that is. I don't recognise that logo. I'm not scrolling all the way back every time it's driving my head in. Pete Nifton, that one, or Knifton. So what you'll find is that one article, because they were done for White Dwarf, one article shares all the same artists. So you've got loads of different legions here. I'm not sure who these orky looking chaps are, Matt. What do you reckon? Like Teeth World Eaters? No, couldn't World Eaters. The traitors weren't about.
It will come to me later on. I'll just randomly say it.
Yeah,
when you're in the middle of something else.
Completely out of context. Nice 2000 AD artwork. And then, this is basically taking you through all of the genesis of Space Marines, which is really cool. It's really cool to see when it started. You've got your lifespans here and everything. A very early proto-Space Wolf here. Looking a bit vampire-like, if I'm being honest, but, A
little bit bald werewolf.
Indeed, yeah. And, it's very cool stuff. And here's the risk bit that says, unfortunately, they do need to be men, sorry. And then from there, we go on to Terminators with Rick and Andy. Again, Tactical Dreadnought armour. This is new. This was not in Rogue Trader. Clearly, GW went, well, we need to sell some new models. We made these new models, make some cool rules. It could be the rules came first and then the models came afterwards. Basically, hench Terminators. There's some awesome artwork here. I mean, this is so cool.
That artwork was new when I got my first edition Space Hulk and the supplements for that.
Yes,
I think that has echoes of this in it.
Yes, and you've even got a white Deathwing here. Look,
yeah,
this Deathwing is white. Whereas, strangely enough, later on in the article, I'm pretty sure there's a black one. Yeah, there it is. Dark Angel chapter Marine is black, so a little bit of a contradiction there.
A chain fist and a heavy flamer. He's just showing off now.
He's just going for it, isn't he?
Double fancy.
It's because of what he does. He heats the chain fist up first. Yeah, this is some cool stuff. The Terminators are an absolutely archetypical part of 40k, in my opinion. Like not just from Space Hulk, but just Terminators in general.
Yeah,
it's like here's Space Marines, and then here's something bigger and meaner. And I remember assault cannons being absolutely broken in second edition when we finally
those malfunctions though.
Yeah, if you rolled 3 jams, they went boom. But if you didn't roll 3 jams and you were lucky enough to roll like 9 hits, whatever you hit died every single time, because every single projectile was just absolutely beastly. But you got your grey, Space Wolves there starting off. Obviously, you've got your Blood Angels and such. It goes through your weapon systems, which is really, really cool. Obviously, back here, you've still got your weapon types, shorthand. Now, looking at this, they don't have templates yet either, because these have got... It's a heavy flamer, it's got short range, long range.
Yeah.
So this must be... Because I think the templates came out with the vehicles manual it comes out, was it?
Hold on a sec, I've got them down here.
And as you correctly say...
A vehicle manual and a battle manual.
Yes, I think it's in the battle manual.
Yeah, it's in the back of the battle manual.
Yeah, I thought... It
says a 2.5-inch blast template. It's what we would call a 5-inch these days. It's only 2.5 from the centre.
Yeah.
And there's a little teeny hand flamer template. a crazy 4 blast one that you had to like cot a pin together with for a thud gun
Oh, the FUD gun template. Yeah, remember
before
that.
it became a thunderfire
That's in here
cannon.
later in the Imperial Guard bits, I think, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in that.
Cool. This is where we got chain fists as well.
We'll get to that later. Not today.
Chain fists, and we'll see that the Gene Stealers have finally assumed their normal, proper form rather than the weird Cthulhu-esque things that we got in Rogue Trader. So, quite a few updates there. And then we've got the Terminator patches. Terminator badges, which I have got as a patch.
We've got those.
I've got a patch on my jacket, and I gave one to you. I need to decide whether I'm going to cut it off for Mark III or not, because I can't get any more. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to carry it across, but
decide.
So I need to replace it with something obviously on my other level one because I still wear it. Unlike Mark 1, which got completely sort of salvaged to make Mark 2. And then you've got the weapons badges and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all really, really, really cool stuff. And nice little bit of artwork and lore.
I haven't really seen weapon badges anymore.
You don't know. It's very much a concept. A bit like campaign badges as well. I think they just got fed up of trying to find places to stick all these extra little icons.
Yeah.
And then this is some Jez Goodwin artwork for sure. I can tell you that 100%. Psychic Hood,
yeah.
Librarian.
That's also from Space Hulk expansions as well.
Ah, okay. Yeah, all very, very cool stuff. And then you've got the thing here about the captains, and it is only the captains in this, having a piece of the Emperor's artwork in them, which is kind of cool.
Bit of armour in the crux.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little fragment of the Emperor's armour. Because I was like, you can't put it in every suit of Terminator armour, because, like, I'm not being funny.
How much?
His armour wasn't that fucking big.
No. Flesh Eaters.
It's the Flesh Eaters. Okay.
Not Terrors.
And then you got refractor fields, teleporting. It's all here. And then you got some very, very proto-looking orcs. So that's a pretty big addition to the game, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Going from Rogue Trader, which this did not exist, and then you imagine you just open up White Dwarf one day and then there's Terminators, and you're like, fucking yes,
I must get me down to the shop so I can buy me 2 metal Terminators in a blister pack for £3.
Exactly. Free English
those
pounds. Those days, I used to love getting Space Marines in blisters, and I used to love getting models in blisters. And like you try and go for the blisters to find the one that you wanted.
Yeah, because they're all different
variants. They're all different. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man.
Nostalgia. Sad little cry. And then you've got a nice piece of artwork with a very, very unsubtle looking commissar here.
Yeah.
They toned him down a tiny bit after this, but that is
quite the nod to Versace, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or was it Hugo Boss? Who did design the World War II German uniforms?
I think it was Boss. I think it was Hugo Boss. Did the SS uniforms, but yeah, that's not entirely unsubtle. He's got a bunch of chaplains with him for the stag do though, so he's having fun.
Yeah. The influence is there.
To be fair, the chaplains look kind of Versace. They're very blinged up with lots of gold and stuff. But these are actually like direct translations to the models as well, which is really nice. Really nice. Yeah. You got your commissars, and it's all there. They're sort of like got their books of hymns to read from and inspire the troops forward. I do feel this commissar is slightly out of place with all these Space Marines, and I do love this chaplain on a jet bike over edge going whee.
There's a whole bunch of dudes on bikes in there.
There are so many dudes on bikes
lurking in the background,
having fun. But it reminds me of that if the Emperor had a speech device when the Emperor saves Magnus's soul and gives him a little bike to ride around on. And Magnus is riding around the Imperial Palace going, "I'm having fun."
It's too jovial for me. I don't like my Warhammer being that funny unless it's orcs.
I don't mind it. I don't mind if it's
Kane.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's like in a spoof. This is just a full-off spoof. It's so funny. He's got this centurion that he loves. It's funny because everybody hates centurions. It's like this Imperial Fist centurion that comes and sits in the Emperor's lap, and he's like, "Yay!" In like a Stephen Hawkins voice, like, "Yay, I love my centurion. Come here, my centurion." And it turns out to be Vocal Dawn. It is funny stuff. It's a shame GW killed it. But yeah, chaplains. Legion started chaplains. Believe what I want you to believe, otherwise I'll just smack you with my stick.
Yes.
So
they're very good at it too.
Bringing the whole idea of faith into the Space Marines, because up until now they had just largely been roided up dudes.
Yeah.
Like roided up mercenary dudes. A bit mental, just sort of like the worst of the worst, and like we'll slap you in armour and give you a gun that can kill anything, and that's a great idea. So they brought chaplains in.
Promised to be good.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, this is where the Space Marines are getting a lot more organised at this stage.
Yeah.
There's a very saber-like power sword he's got there. Look at that. Actual saber.
Some of the models did have that. That's actually really close to one of the old metal models.
Okay. Well, we do get a look at the models in a moment, so we may well see that.
I think we will.
Banner's a little bit weird there, isn't it? I kind of feel like that needs to extend up. Maybe it's telescopic. Press a little button.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are Dave Gallagher pieces by the looks of things. And yeah, this is really cool. And this is just elements of the Imperial faith and everything like that coming into it, rounding out the Space Marines, bringing the Space Marines into what they would be, as I say, for the next God knows how many editions until they decided they needed to change it, unfortunately, for Primaris. So,
what, next 25 years?
Yes, it would be. Yeah, next 25 years. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you've got your equipment and everything like that. You've got your rules. It's all here. You know, you pick up that issue of White Dwarf, and then you would be like, okay, I've got my issue of White Dwarf. Oh, they've released a chaplain. So these are almost like they release the model, and it's like, if you want the rules for this, it's in your White Dwarf, giving you a reason to buy the White Dwarf, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's really cool. Just look at it as like a supplemental little cost. You haven't got to buy like a big rule book or anything. You just pick up a little cool model for chaplain and go, right, what are the rules for this? White Dwarf, and you know, if you didn't want to get White Dwarf, maybe you'd photocopy your mates or even write it down or something, you know.
Yeah. Didn't have camera phones back then.
No camera phones.
Lucky to have a camera.
No YouTube, no PDFs. No, the cameras you got were the little holiday ones that you took on holiday.
Yeah, the little shit ones.
And you sent them off to be developed afterwards.
Yeah.
And like
had to be careful what you took photos of.
Yes, yeah, indeed. And then, yeah, if we look after that, we can see the actual models that we're talking about. So you've got, as you say, the model of the curved scimitar. So
yeah,
I have no idea if, and Darren will probably know the answer to this, if the models were made off of the artwork or if the artwork was made off the models.
I suspect I don't know. Might have been a bit of both. Depends on the model.
Some collaboration there going, but there is certainly a lot of very, very close similarities between the models and the artwork.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got them all there, and these would have been, as you say, probably about £3 back then, I suppose. I mean, I remember only being about £4 or £5 when I got into it, and that was second edition. So,
which
yeah.
I mean, I've got metal chaplains, but I don't remember buying them. Like, would they have been in a blister with another model? It's very rare that you got just one, wasn't it?
No, it would have been just one chaplain.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would have been just one chaplain on his own. Even the assault squads and things like that were sold on their own. Because I remember when I worked for GW. Well, no, actually, I worked for GW. I basically joined them just before 3rd edition came out. So probably about 3-4 months before 3rd edition came out. And they said at the time, probably their biggest selling blister was actually the Assault Space Marine. Because you only got one in a blister. So you'd need to pick up 5 of them to make a squad, which would work out be about £20. Yeah, they didn't come in multiples in the blisters, the Assault Marines. The normal Tactical Marines did, from what I remember. If you wanted just 3 Tactical Marines, it was like 3 for a £5.
They were 3. Yeah, I remember. Oh, was that a £5?
I think it was 3 for a £5. Yeah, I think so.
I just remember blisters being £3. That might have been where I got them from, because I didn't have a Games Workshop near me. The closest Games Workshop to me, being an Essex dweller, was probably London, and being like what, 12 at the time, maybe.
Yeah.
There was didn't really get to go to London.
Didn't go to London all that often,
especially not to buy models from Games Workshop.
No, we had Southend Games Workshop, and then we also had Caliber Books, which sold the kind of discounted stuff. But even better, in Southend Victoria Centre, there was like a market on the far side, and in that market there was a little stall which was like a little sort of like an offshoot of Caliber Books, with a guy called Steve in there who's an amazing sculptor, and nice. They had them all in there. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So I
think there was 2 places that I got mine. One of them was Victoria Model Railways in Romford, Victoria Road, funnily enough, opposite the station. It's gone now. I think they turned it into like a record shop, like Boogie Times or some other shit like that. And I used to love going in there because it was a dead cert, because my dad used to love his model railways, and he had Model Railway Club and all sorts of other nerdy nonsense that you'd never catch me being involved with, and it was a dead cert that I'd be like, Dad, can we go into Victoria Models? And he'd be like, yes, we can. I haven't seen the dude who runs it for a while. Son, let's go. And I'd be like, yes. And I'd go in there to smell all the old wooden and glass cases, all smelling of like polish and stuff. And it was, I remember it was good. And I had all the old box games in there. I think that's actually where I got my Space Hulk, Advanced Space Crusade, and Man of War, and second edition Epic from, all from there.
Yeah. I mean, Caliber Books was similar. It's kind of like a historical place, as you can imagine from the name. But they got a load of 40k stuff in, and you could sell stuff there as well. So
nice.
I actually sold painted models there and traded those in for like nicer stuff. And yeah, it was really good. They're not there anymore, sadly. I think it's a fucking tattooist shop or something now. But yeah, no, it's awesome. So yeah, you know, after that you've got commissars, which are largely as they are now. Really.
Yeah.
Slightly less Gestapo now, I suppose. I'm surprised people haven't kicked off about that, to be honest.
I'd like to point out, where are we? I think you've gone one page past where I am. The fucking heavy plasma gun on that dude. It's the same size as the dude. Look, it's bloody massive, and a rhino. Imperial Guard in a rhino. You've
got to imagine that is getting somewhat warm.
Yeah, I mean, because back then, heavy plasma guns and plasma cannons were two separate things.
They were, yeah. So plasma cannons were tripod mounted. Yeah. Yeah.
So that poor guy's lugging that thing around. There must be a second dude behind him just holding it still for him.
Yeah,
like just steadying it.
They breed them big in the guard. Yeah.
Isn't it? Can you lift it? Yes. Right, it's yours.
Yes. Can you aim it? Kind of.
Only if Stevens holds the back end for me.
Yes, exactly. I've told Stevens to stay away from your back end.
Okay, there's no backblast for a plasma cannon.
Probably some fumes.
Heavy plasma gun, sorry.
I imagine there's some fumes, though. And then we're on to medics. So we haven't got apothecaries. They
Not yet.
They do mention the apothecarian, but they are called medics, not apothecaries. I imagine it's not very long before that happens. I mean, if you have a look, Ultramarines is actually two different words as well. Which is
so old.
Very, very old.
Oh, yeah, if you scroll back to the previous page, there's even like an Imperial Guard medic helping out a Marine.
Yeah, well, you've got a squat here.
Yeah?
You've got a squat on the right going, all right, lads.
Yeah, you can tell by the green and red.
yeah, exactly. And some dead proto-orcs. That orc's got something written on it. I can't quite read it. I think it's something Death Cult on his chest. I can't quite read it. I love all these little details on artworks and stuff, though. It's what makes them all memorable, and sort of that's what makes it grimdark, in my opinion. And I think, from what I remember from Rogue Trader, at least one of these medics or apothecaries is a member of the field police. Which is,
yeah.
There you go. Maybe that's something they've binned off by then. And yet again, dude and jetpike.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Not quite the
just all over the place back then.
They really were. They really were all over.
I've still got a tech marine on a jetbike somewhere. No, it was an apothecary. It was.
I was going to say
on a jetbike.
I think I had an apothecary.
And I've got a tech marine on their old Black Vincent
bike. Oh right, the Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. Vincent Black Shadow, that was it.
Awesome.
Which I think I remember my dad telling me it was actually modelled on a real bike. No, it used to be an old. Was it Vincent used to make bikes?
I think it was. Yeah.
A British-based bike company, and they did a Black Shadow.
Yeah, the one was called the Black Shadow, and they just
they
took it wholesale on this. Yep, we'll call it that. This piece of lore here, I'm pretty sure was reprinted like fairly recently.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because I mean, I'm looking at this. There's nothing in here that doesn't fit these days. It's only a very small piece of,
a mold-water shell.
They changed Carnifex to oh god, what's it called? Nothesium, whatever it's called for the apothecaries have got.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you're good to go, because obviously Carnifex became something a bit different. If you injected a Carnifex into somebody, they probably wouldn't be too happy with you, to be honest, these days.
No, it'd be a bit of an alien job, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got White Scars doing a field transfusion.
Yeah.
Seems a little bit unnecessary, but there you go.
Well, I don't know. He's leaking from the head a bit. Look.
No, but they've got an implant, haven't they, that sorts out their blood.
It should coagulate it into like rock hard bits.
Well, yeah, I know it coagulates and heals over really quickly, but haven't they also got something that reproduces blood cells at like a much faster rate than a human?
Probably.
I can't remember, if I'm being honest. A little bit rusty.
He's doing it just to be sure. That dude might have taken a hit to his fancy blood organ, so he's got to help
Well,
him
this
out.
dude's losing an arm, and he's being experimented on by experimented on.
Experimented
He's being operated on by a squat.
by a squad, yeah.
Spear of Odin, because they're space dwarfs, don't you know? And you just got some cool artwork. Still, building in on the Latin kind of high Gothic area and stuff like that. And this would have been cool stuff to read. And
It was.
you don't really get. When
not
I've picked up
flavouring
White
stuff
Dwarf these
anymore.
days, it's nothing like this.
Yeah, not so
White Dwarf these days. I'm kind of half tempted because the new one that's coming out, there's like a Votan Focus, and I'm like, that could be interesting. But other than that, I'm just sort of like, White Dwarf just doesn't really do much for me now.
We've got
certainly not like the Fat Boat days.
No.
You've got a guy putting some dipping his tea bag into a cup of tea.
This is recap.
As just like needs two more dunks to get to the correct Emperor approved strength.
Yeah, we know
It really does. You
could
could
keep that.
You could put. I'm going to do a little screenshot of this, and then I'm going to put a PG Tips logo over it.
Put a monkey on it. It was PG Chips that used to have the monkeys, wasn't it? The chimps.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they used to come with the little art cards in there, like dinosaur art cards and stuff.
That's right, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had art on one side and like a little blurb on the other.
One. Yeah, exactly. I had a whole collections of those. I wonder what the hell happened to them all.
Check this out. Look, campaign stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they decided it had been too long since they put a fucking table in. They're like, you might have forgotten this is 40k. Have some tables.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So yeah, as you say, campaign stuff. It's really. I mean, this is kind of stuff I'd love to see in 40k these days.
It all got moved to Necromunda, didn't it?
It did, yeah. But the last time I designed a campaign for 40k, I actually put stuff like this in it. So you would roll at the end of the game to see what happened to your dudes.
Nice.
Subtracting one if you'd taken a hit from like. Would it have been instant kill back in those? Oh yeah, that might have been. Instant kill was 7th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think instant death was a thing. I think that came along maybe in 5th.
This campaign would have been in 4th. No, I missed 4th. It would have been in 5th, so maybe it was. I can't remember. But anyway, I did rules because there wasn't really many campaign rules back then for 40k, and I did rules where you could roll to see what happened to your dudes, and it would affect them in future games and stuff like that. But as you say, a lot of that just ended up in Necromunda, to be honest, where it worked better at that scale because obviously, certainly by the time you're using the amount of models that GW wants to use in games these days, it's like no.
No.
They're just all dead. And then you've got all the different medics with very non-codex looking displays of colour application, but given the Ultramarines are sitting there doing it the same, I'm like, well, I guess maybe it is the codex after all.
They're very funky with their white bits.
They do. Yeah.
Even Dark Angels, it's got this little white onesie on.
Yep, absolutely. It's cool. It's cool. I like it. Yeah, it's all cool stuff. I don't know how it'd look on models these days, but back then it really broke up the RTBO1 Marines.
Yeah. There wasn't a great deal of detail on them, so they kind of needed it.
I was going to say, because they kind of needed it, because the detail wasn't there to sort of like do anything else with. But I really like this guy's artwork. I can't remember who it is, and I can't be bothered to scroll all the way back up. If you've got a copy there, I might let you do it. But yeah, he's got this really cool sort of watercolour washed out look. And I really like it. I will put his name up on the video if I remember. But I'm not scrolling all the way back up now because I'm on page 32 out of 200. So, no.
But it was Tony Hugh. Tony Hugh? How? Tony Howe?
Oh, Tony Howe, that rings a bell. That makes sense, yeah. Nice one. Yeah, just another really cool little article again. Sort of like, just imagine you've been playing your games and you're like, oh, cool, here's this month's White Dwarf. Oh, wow, I get to add something to my game. Do you know what I mean? That's really, really cool. I really like that. And then, the bit you was quite excited about is the Bad Dab War.
Yeah.
Where we get a few mentions, and it's the Tiger Claws, sadly, not the Astral Claws, because somebody thought Tiger Claws was cool. And
got to start somewhere. It was the 80s. Literally, it was the 80s.
They were wrong. Just say they were wrong. But what I quite liked from this was I noticed in this that the Fire Angels had the Salamander's scheme. So if you look, this Fire Angels Battle of Sagan's Moon drop troop camouflage scheme, which is like a dark green and some like fire motifs and stuff like that. The salamanders
black.
were originally like actual salamanders. And
Well,
I
yeah,
can only
he's right.
imagine...
Hey, look, it's right next to him, look.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking at with my cursor. I can only imagine what a prick that was to paint. It's like, not only are we going to make you paint yellow, which is an absolute wanker in the first place. Back in these days, you know, the yellow paint was horrific. It had the coverage of
It was so crap on it. I
milk.
remember that.
It was awful.
It was so thin, yeah.
But we're then going to make you paint like black wavy lines all over it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, fuck you. Still, it could be worse. It could be the Minotaurs.
Yeah, look.
Like, can you imagine?
Just what? What? Just what?
I just paint one of those and be like, no, fuck it, they're all dead.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm not doing anymore.
This one's just a champion now. All the others will be in a different colour. I know, brass will do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to
yeah.
invent Death Watch before the Death Watch. But here's the Tiger Claws, and if anything, they're even worse. No longer they turn traitor. Look at that shit.
God damn.
The Lamenters has got it easy in comparison. It's like, yeah, we're just yellow all over with some checkers on our shoulders. We're living it
This is
large.
back when they bothered to to camouflage Marines.
Well, yes.
Nowadays, Marines are far too proud to camouflage themselves. In such a fashion.
Which I've got mixed feelings. I mean, maybe it's not a great idea marching across a battlefield when you're bright red, but
yeah. It's the same principle as having an officer that refuses to wear a helmet. It's like, mate, you're asking for trouble.
You're asking for it, you really
all it is one rattling, and you're going to be in bother. But but coming back to this, like, post many years of Forge World, very surprised to see Red Scorpions there. I was like, no.
Yeah, this is where they originated. Yeah, and they didn't change that much either. It went from sort of black
They went to grey.
dark grey, but apart from that, it didn't really change. Again, screw their camouflage scheme. Pursuit Squad. Fuck off.
Yeah, what?
Right next to it, Red Scorpions Pursuit Squad. It's like they're red and black.
What's they got? They've got a scarier colour to make people run faster.
That Firehawk has got a very, very rudimentary bionic claw. It's not even a hand. It's like a pincer.
Yeah.
And their logo is just a nuclear explosion for some reason. Fair enough. But you've got the Marines Errant here. There's quite a few things that we would see later. You've got the Raptors. Well, therefore, we'll actually paint a bird head on the helmet. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you'll see the Raptors again prominently in Imperial Armour 3. I think it is the Taros campaign.
Indeed. Assuming we eventually get there. And the Raptors also were very, very, very unfortunate in their colour scheme. It looks like Banana Man. Do you remember Banana Man, the cartoon?
Eric?
Yeah,
he's a banana.
It looks like Banana Man. So, yes, they ended up being a much more sensible drab olive green.
Yep.
But, Sons of Medusa was still, largely the same, apart from the logo, bright green. In fact, I think they got brighter, if anything.
Yeah, there's the poor Lamenters as well. Guys, you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah,
you're going to be the kicking chapter for a whole lot of years. I don't think you're ever going to recover.
No, you're not. You drew the short straw massively.
Yeah. It's like massively. I think the only other chapter that drew a shorter straw than them was the also yellow Scythes of the Emperor. Got completely eaten down to a marine by Tyranids. Although years ago, I think it was on some forum, I did see some absolute boss did like a handful of surviving Scythes of the Emperor, kind of like a anti-Tyranid specialist.
Gotcha, I still got a Tyranid plate all over them.
And they were all scuffed up and grotty with like patchwork armour and stuff. It was really good.
Awesome. That's really, really cool. I like that. But yeah, the other thing I've noticed about these is those banner tops are like 100% Roman SSQR, I think it is. Like exactly the same, so it's all there. And then on to the Imperial Guard. Good old Imperial Guard.
Yep, Rough Riders and White Shields, which it translates to horse dudes and noobs.
Yeah, horse dudes and noobs. And I love this piece of artwork here. It's a shame we can't see it on one page. I might actually do a bit of GIMP trickery, not Photoshop because I'm poor, so I use GIMP. And
it's a free art package for anyone that's wondering. As far as I know,
I don't have a slave that I'm going to get.
He doesn't have a rubber can slave. It has to do as it's told.
It's like that evil GW video, and I just got a cattle prod. I'm just going Do it.
Check out the old school Warlord.
Exactly. Yeah.
Warlord Titan.
That's kind of why I want to put this all back together. And you've still got some dudes on jetbikes going, wee, yay,
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Actually, what that Warlord is spurting looks quite suspicious. Maybe it's the Slaneshi one. I can't quite tell.
I think it's supposed to be their equivalent of a plasma cannon.
I'm going to assume so.
I don't remember them being carapace mounted, but
yeah, that's really cool. You've got some like
been a long time.
Chaos Renegades and stuff down here.
And then a silhouette of a Reaver behind it.
It is, yes.
Very, very sneaky.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I do love that old artwork. This is a John Blanche piece, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks spot on for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a John Blanche piece. And I saw somebody actually paint this banner, and it didn't look as bad as I thought it would.
Nice. That's quite
very
an achievement.
Cool. And I've got to admit, I sort of like look at these logos on their shoulder pads, and I'm sort of like, did Fear Factory like 40k?
You have offended the Emperor. Now you must be demanufactured.
Exactly, manufactured. Yeah, you are now obsolete.
I saw that one coming. But yeah, you can tell it's John Blanche and his love for all things biker by the dude that's just lounging on the floor,
chilling out with a little. He's got a cut on.
Yeah, with just like his back painted jacket.
Because this is before. This is before you had all the different regiments, so you didn't have Cadians, Valhallans, Talans, or any of that Praetorian stuff that would upset people these days. It was just the Guard, and most of them came from Necromunda. And you've still got this great big lad that's got the plasma cannon here. It doesn't look quite as big, but he looks sort of not super happy. That might not be a plasma cannon, actually. Not sure what that is.
That looks like, that's from the really old Imperial Guard sprue. I vaguely recognise it from the Genestealer expansion for Space Hulk.
Okay.
Because those old Genestealer hybrids had Guard weapons.
Gotcha.
I think it might either be a las cannon or bizarrely a heavy bolter.
I was going to say that.
Very weird.
I was going to say I thought it might be a las cannon because I'm not seeing the bolter feed or anything, but you never know. I mean, this guy here over on the far right, he's just got a fucking stick. He's just come on, you bastards!
It's just got a beat stick.
I'll beat you to death with my club.
I'm kind of hoping it's just a really long barrel or a las gun.
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah, it could be. But then why'd you?
It's not just the stick.
Why'd you hold it by the barrel? It's got feathers attached to it. So you can try and tickle them to death.
It's just fancy, isn't it?
But yeah, so you've got the White Shields and you've got the Rough Riders here. And again, this would be brand new at the time. You would have just had your Imperial Guard dudes, and it's like, now we've put them on horses. All right.
Shitload of lore.
Here's some noobs to get killed.
Noobs, yeah.
Another cool piece of artwork here. That looks like a Dave Gallagher piece to me. That looks like Dave Gallagher. I can't be sure. It's not actually got a little symbol on it from what I can see.
Yeah, that guy's got...
It's got a D on it, so it might be D.
That guy's got a heavy bolter.
Yes, that's definitely
on the other page.
Yeah, that's where I am. What, this one, yeah?
No, the other one.
What? Oh, yeah.
There.
Oh, they're both heavy bolters. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. No, they're squats. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense, yeah.
And that poor squat with the tiniest dagger eye.
I was going to say...
So I wouldn't show that one off, mate.
Hopefully they're going to throw some letters at me so I can open them. They're cool. I like these. I like these squats. I wish they...
I've still got most of mine.
I don't mind the Votan, but they're a little bit StarCraft looking for me. I kind of wish they'd incorporated a little bit of this back into it.
They're a bit bland and characterless in style.
I don't think the Votan have any identity at all, sadly. Yeah. But they've got a chance to, increase the range and improve them, so we'll see what happens. Although it is modern GW, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Although I did like the Leomartes. I thought Leomartes was nice.
He looked very good.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. I'm not sure he's special character enough, but he would certainly make an excellent jump pack chaplain.
Yes. Mind you, the Blood Angels jump chaplain also looks great. I think he actually looks better than the Dark Angels one. With the wings.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, no, I love that model. That's really nice.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Nice model. But I'm not doing Blood Angels because they're vampires, and vampires means Twilight, and that shit can fuck right off.
Yeah, but they're older than Twilight, so
I know they are, but it's the association these days, isn't it? Like, because as soon as Twilight came out, you got all these stupid fucking vampire shows, True Blood and Vampire Diaries and all that bollocks. And I was just like, oh no, Fuck off.
True Blood was okay because it was very grown up.
So I heard it had,
watched.
I heard it
I
had,
left it to it.
I heard it had Chebs in it, so that's one.
It most certainly did.
Excellent.
And lots of red.
Yeah, Chebs and red is all good. But yeah, nice little bit of you know.
Tell you a funny bit of trivia to do with True Blood.
Oh, not to do with Chebs. Okay.
No,
I shall allow you to continue.
Back then, I was working for a bank back in a Brentwood office of all places.
Yep.
Fucking Brentwood to have an office for an international finance company. Very weird. And I was working there, and we had our own little IT room, kind of like the IT crowd, but not as funny. And our comms lady, I kind of had a word with, and I was like, "You kind of like spoopy stuff," and she went, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, have you heard of True Blood?" And she was like, "No." And I said, "Okay, well, look, it's just kind of come on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Look, come here, check out the website." And she sort of she wandered over, and she's gone, "Oh my fucking god!" And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Vampire Bill?" I went, "Yeah." She goes, "It's my ex-boyfriend. He's actually from around here." And I was "Are you pissing me?" She was like, "No, he's changed his name a bit from when I knew him, but absolutely him 100%." And I was like, "Jesus, wow, didn't expect that, you hussbag."
Yeah, no. Mad.
Sorry,
no,
Sarah.
I never checked.
You'll never hear this, but you never know.
Even the
it's not bad at all.
Even the lure of Chebs would not be enough to drive me to teen vampire drama.
It's
stuff.
Not teen. It's grown-up vampire drama.
It's still vampire drama, though.
It's very good.
At
one point, a very sus Mynad turns up, who was actually the female captain of the Pegasus in BSG. Her.
Oh,
you know, whenever she turns up in something, you know, she's always a bit of a sus character.
Oh God, Michelle Forbes. I'm pretty sure it's Michelle Forbes.
Possibly, I have no idea. Yeah, but she turns up and she's like a major antagonist in one season, and starts bewitching all the people in the town, and makes a meat tree, which is about as appealing as it sounds.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, did you see the new Hellboy trailer, by the way?
No.
Released
is this the animated one?
No, it's a live action film that they've done. It's the Crooked Man.
WTF? Oh, so it's going to be actually based on an existing book. Nice.
Yep. It looks cheap, but I mean, it looks.
I'll check that out.
Legit. I didn't even mind the horror.
I didn't even mind the last one.
I thought the last one was absolutely fucking awful. I like the fact that it took bits from the comics directly, but it was fucking awful.
Needed more budget.
Much more budget. Much more budget. I thought it was terrible. The two Perlman ones are obviously, very
awesome.
good, so no problems there.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Hellboy just needs to be a TV series, a streaming TV series. I have no idea why they keep trying to make it a fucking movie.
Who would have thought that Luke Goss from Bros was such a good bad guy?
Yep. In two films, in Blade 2
and Blade 2 as well.
In Hellboy 2. And then he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I was gutted. I was like,
he's a really fucking good actor. And
I was like, fuck off, is that him? And it was him. And I was like, no, it ain't. It was. And then he vanished.
A shit boy band, well, not even a boy band, 80s band, Bros.
They did well for themselves, though.
They did do well for themselves. They're still touring now.
Slightly bonkers, yeah. Somehow.
Not my bag. He was a damn good actor. But yes, you've got your White Shields, which are, they were noobs, but they're not veterans, they're noobs. Yeah, no, they're noobs.
Right.
They're noobs.
Yeah, Black Shields are the opposite.
Yeah.
In 30k.
Which is, from what I remember, this is directly taken from Judge Dredd. Because the novice judges in Judge Dredd are white. They have white armour.
Oh, okay, so they just stick out like a sore thumb everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of like if you go out there and survive long enough, then we'll make you into a judge eventually. But yeah, the junior judges, they're called, and they've got white armour. So, or white shoulder pads at least, and not white all over. It'd be a nightmare. You never get all the blood out. But the shoulder pads are white.
Cool.
So you got these guys, and then Ogrins. It's sort of like, we've got a new range of models, and I'm not being funny, GW, but I get the feeling you may have just taken a load of fantasy models and repurposed them.
They did, 100%.
It's like we've got one dude with a gun. It's like we need a new range of Ogrins. It's like, mate, I've only got time to sculpt one big model, just one. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You do that, and then we'll put a load of fantasy ones in there. It'll be all right.
I actually ended up, that guy with the ripper gun with the sunglasses, I actually ended up with him as part of a job lot from someone I used to work with. I gave it to Bailey because he was a card player.
I never saw him use it, even against me.
No, and then he fucked off to America. Bailey.
Fucking guard. And there's 2 Valkyries or Vultures, whatever they are, with 3 las cannons that just deleted things. Damn you,
I think Vultures are the gunships. Valkyries are the troop carriers.
I think it was Vultures then. And yeah, it was just ridiculous. He had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
and it's just basically a turn. He just pointed to something and it just died. I was just like, oh.
And there's Vendettas as well, which I think was a 4-year-old one, and they had like a really big turbine set behind the cockpit.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, I don't know. Whatever it was, it kicked my ass.
They all kind of merge into one.
Goddamn baby.
I sold mine because Games Workshop fucked me over. I got me one to go with my Gene Stealer Colt.
I've got some aeronautical ones I need to move on actually because they're never going to get used. Because they're not in Legions, Imperialis. There's no point in using them. So it's like, might as well just get shot of them. Yeah. Well, no, they didn't exist in Heresy.
Well, you never know.
Valkyrie pattern didn't exist unless they do a big retcon. But yeah, this green Ogren's a little bit sus.
Yeah, definitely a little bit troll-like.
Just in case you were wondering, no, that's not what my profile picture is either. So that's fine. And then
I don't want any sweet corn.
It's definitely not Johnny the Green Giant. And then we've got more. Absolutely. I mean, this guy's just a Zinch dude. Look at him. I mean, come on. 09021. Come on. These are all Chaos dudes. These aren't fucking Ogrins. Cheeky bastards.
Well, the Imperial Guard did have Beastmen.
They did have Abhumans. Yeah, absolutely. They did have Abhumans. But then you've got these Imperial Guard ones, and these are really cool. I like these. I think these are awesome. Yeah. They've got that kind of hero proportion that you just don't get now. And these are great.
Grenade launcher? That don't look like a grenade launcher. Looks like a Sten gun. An oversized Sten gun.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see. It doesn't look like a grenade launcher, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, no, these are cool. I like these. And I had one of them. I can't remember which one it was. He definitely had a breastplate, so I've got a feeling.
Middle left?
It was 404014. Sorry, 401014.
The lieutenant.
The lieutenant. Yeah, lieutenant, thank you. Yes, lieutenant. We are British. Mate, I tell you what, it's nigh impossible for me to fucking say. Because it doesn't say lieutenant. So every single time my brain just goes. I mean, I know the English language is crazy at it sometimes, but there is no f in there. No. It just isn't.
I'm just going to blame the French. I'm certain it's originally a French word.
I'm fairly sure, yeah, exactly.
Blame the Normans.
Or blame the French and mad Olympicness. But yeah, lovely little article on Ogrins. The amazingly monikered Ivan Weeds.
My granddad was called Ivan on my father's side.
Oh, right, really?
Such an old school name. Yeah.
It is a very old school name. He's not Russian, was he?
No, he was half West Indian.
Oh, okay. Ivan.
He looked a bit like Morgan Freeman when he got old in The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Yeah, so again, nice little bit of fluff. And then Ogrins, That's it, basically, Ogrins. Possibly the earliest example of GW turning around and going, we need to sell these fantasy models somehow. Make rules for them in 40k, and we'll make one model.
Yeah.
But Ogrins, Imperial Coal. Got some Ogrins up against Killer Can here. That's really cool.
A small mind is easily filled with faith.
Yes.
I ain't saying nothing.
No, isn't it? Ogren Ripper guns. It's cool. It's cool. I really like it. Look at this one, just picking up a jet bike, Eldar jet bike.
Yeah. One of the old school ones. The Eldar there's like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you are boned. Ogren about to demolish Eldar jet bike. I think he's about to demolish the Eldar as well, if I'm being honest with you.
With the jet bike.
Yeah.
Mate, you should have stayed on it and kept going.
Exactly, yeah. This is Tony Nifton again. I recognise the logo. Renegade Ogrins, so let's shift those ones. And then, some rules, tables and stuff like that, because, we heard you like some tables.
Yeah.
And then I really like this piece of artwork.
Another good piece of artwork with an old school Sentinel.
Indeed, another one. Yeah, the old Egg Sentinel. Another one that I might need to get the Gimp to splice back together for me.
And a Rhino.
And
with a Tech Marine in front of it,
with no backpack or no servo harness. But no, I really like that. I think that's an awesome piece of artwork. That's the kind of piece of artwork that I'd love to see redone now, but not now. Because obviously now it just wouldn't look very gothic and grimdark, but in the heyday of 40k, which I would say is probably around about 10 years ago. Then
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen it updated then. But like something like Paul Dainton or something like that, you know,
Definitely.
that would have been amazing. But yeah, it's a really, really nice piece of artwork. It's evocative, and like I'd look at that and be like, oh fuck me, I need to collect myself an army of that. Do you know what I mean? That looks really cool.
Yeah.
Even with that stupid egg sentinel.
Oh, there you go. It even says there, artwork, Pete Nifton.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
You did good, Pete. Well done.
Yeah, very good work. Very good work. And then dreadnoughts, including killer
excellent.
cans and stuff. And they've still got escape pods, so we're still not at the second edition dreadnought yet.
Oh, no, it's not the near dead marine yet.
No, it's just hunched over, uncomfortable marine. I can imagine he gets out after a hard day of fighting. It's just like, oh fuck.
Imagine that though. It's like your nice new fancy neural link dreadnought. You're just scrunched up in a fetal position, like a jelly chamber.
Yeah.
Just controlling it with your brain, and then suddenly you get wrecked from somewhere, probably an Odgrin throwing a jet bike, and then you just get ejected out, and you're just going to land on the thing, and you're literally going to be like Neo when he wakes up in the Matrix,
Exactly.
just like all like half asleep and just like on the floor. Someone's going to be like, get him, he's quite a skilled pilot. Yeah. I know he looks like a baby with plugs. Please go.
Well,
there you go.
There's your objective for the mission. For the next mission, you know, none of this 100 points bollocks. Just go and fucking get him.
Save our pilot.
So yeah, these are really cool, and obviously, you know, because it's still early 40k, you've still got rules to make your own.
Oh, it's the old school ones,
really, really old school with the tables and everything.
I've still got my metal one somewhere.
So you got your build points.
I had a long-legged metal one. Because the short-legged ones just look weird.
I've got an STL for one of them. I know that, one of the old dreadnoughts. I haven't printed it yet, but I will do, because I kind of want to do something Rogue Trader themed. Because we've been talking about it. I should really fancy doing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, doing YouTube all the time, I just don't have. Well, that too, yeah. Doing YouTube all the time, I just don't have so much time to get painting done at the moment, which sucks. But I'm gonna try and get some more time soon. Have you seen this? Page 58.
I got one. Yeah.
It's the same piece of artwork, you cheapy bastards. You've just cropped it.
To show off a land speeder.
Unacceptable. Yeah, there's more dudes in it going, wee, yay. We want a land speeder. She's got no armour at all.
I've still got one of those old, in Epic now, those are Proteus land speeders.
Proteus land speeders, that's right, yeah.
And I've got one of those old metal ones from when they were new, and it was such an absolute prick to put together.
Oh yeah, man. So was the second edition one.
I mean, they were simple, though they were literally like 7 bits.
Yeah, but it was metal.
But could you get it to stick together and stay together? No, probably have
to pin it.
Absolute nightmare. Yeah, I think I ended up using like horrible, stinking 2-part epoxy resin to do mine.
I've got in my room. I've got a probably closer to 2.5 1,000-point army of second edition Tyranids, the metal ones.
Nice.
I am not looking forward to putting them together. I remember having to pin the Carnifex, mate.
Yeah, I've still got mine. I've still got my Screamer Killer.
Once you've got, I've got 2 of them. I think I've got one of them I might need to 3D print some arms for, because the metal arms are hard to find. But when you put the 2 halves of the fucking face together, there's a massive gap. So the old green stuff party skills can be brought to the fore. But yeah, you got the rules here. You got, you know, jump pack. Jump pack.
Imagine that, a jump pack. See, this is probably where they got the concept for an Arlatax from for 30k.
Yes.
Which is going to be a tangent now, because I've always wanted an Arlatax, and they've never done a fucking model for it.
Nope.
Maybe, I mean, how long has it been out?
Yeah, maybe with the new Mechanicum, mate. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Is it in the Mechanicum book? Because I've not read it. Okay,
yeah.
They'll do a model then.
It got introduced around about book 5 of the old black books, I think.
Okay, well, GW don't leave anything without a model for long, so that will get a model.
They bloody have. It's been about 15 years.
That'll get a model.
And then they did a second edition Heresy book, and that's got the Arlatax in it. And it's basically like a Domitar-sized automator, so it's kind of heavier than a Castellax.
Could they make it a dual build with a Domitar? Or is it too different?
Potentially. But whereas the Domitar is like a siege robot, so it's got 2 like graviton rams and then a missile launcher up in the carapace, and that's pretty much it. The Arlatax was just horrific, and it had a jump pack. So that's like a medium automator with a jump pack, and it had 2 sets of power claws, one on each arm.
Jesus.
had a mini autocannon on each arm as well, which just kind of screams RoboCop 2 to me a little bit, even though it's going to look different. And originally in first edition, it also had a twin-linked plasma blaster.
Oh, because it wasn't killy enough already.
No, for messing people up close. But for some reason, in the new edition, they swapped it out for a plasma cannon, and I'm like, that doesn't really fit. But
we've not seen all the Mechanicum yet, so hopefully there is.
I just can't get over like that size automator with massive blades and a jump pack. I'm just like, nothing's safe.
Well, in this, jump packs apparently are built into the feet.
What?
Which
I could see that with the Eldar. I think that's where they put. They did that with the War Walkers.
A little bit worrying because I mean I thought that the Invictus Warsuit, before we actually found out what it was, I thought that was going to be some kind of like drop assault, drop pod. Dreadnought, like it got dropped from orbit or something, and that would have actually been cool compared with what we ended up with.
It was just an abomination with a curious heavy bolter.
It was just somebody who'd been watching Avatar and was just like, no, fuck off, mate, seriously.
Although I will applaud them for having a heavy bolter that can be used by a Dreadnought's power fist.
Yeah, it looks like
that's a cunning design.
Like you can grip it. That's kind of cool.
Somewhat.
If it was in the Guard, I'd be like, no problems with this. This is awesome. Yeah. Like replace the Sentinel with it. I'm totally down with that. But for Space Marines, it's fucking stupid. Anyway,
it is very silly.
So moving on, we've got all these Dreadnought stuff, and again more tables. Have some tables, but they're hit locations, which we love. So your Dreadnought can get brain damage, which is just
the pilot.
The pilot of the Dreadnought can get brain damage. I also love jump pack malfunction. Just randomly starts jumping 3d6 inches in random directions.
Just hopping about,
exactly. And you've got special damage charts and stuff like that, and all stuff that we miss. And then you've got the different classes of Dreadnoughts. You've got Furibundus, Contemptor, and what was the other one? Diridaeus, I guess, of course, yes.
Yeah, 2 of them got carried over into Heresy. I never knew what happened to the Furibundus. I've always lamented that. Yeah. I'm kind of like, come on, you've done 2. You've pulled a Leviathan out of somewhere. It's not a Furibundus.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, what?
Yeah, it would have been all right. But never mind.
But yeah, I mean, the Furibundus is what I had. Because it's basically, on one side, it's got like a power fist, and I think it's got a single bolt gun.
Okay.
And then the other arm was just missile launcher.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because they've put them both up there at the same time, which is weird.
Yeah.
But it's because different armaments.
The Diridaeus, I'm pretty certain had a las cannon.
Yes, I was going to say it's got las cannon. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Contemptor was just 2 power fists with twin bolt guns on each. Yeah. For getting close to people and messing them up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like.
I still want to see a Furibundus in 30k. I'm not too sure what they do because they kind of got all the bases covered with the current 3.
They have, but it'd be nice for old, nostalgia's sake, wouldn't it? And then you've got the Eldar Dreadnoughts, which were unchanged, going like even now they're more or less identifiable as they go. They got a bit of a
they got far more refined,
a bit of an update, but and you've got loads of cool little colour bits with more colour schemes that scream "fuck you," basically. Some quite BattleTech colour schemes here, I would say. I'm not sure when BattleTech came out in relation to 40k, but some of these remind me of the different clans and stuff.
Mate, the robots are next.
For God's sake. We need to find out if Darren was ever made to paint any of these robots.
I really hope not. They all look like clowns.
I feel like taking.
It's so bad, but you can clearly see where the 30k Automator have got their basis from.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are just the Castellan robots. The Castellan robots are almost exactly the same.
Yep. The
even down to down to this bit here. The bit coming up.
Yep, the Castellax, the Crusader class became the Vorax, and I am fairly certain that the Colossus became the Thanatar.
I was going to say that's the Thanatar.
They don't quite look similar. And then down in my notes from last time we did it, I've also kind of put down the Cataphract is sort of akin to a Domitar.
Yes.
And the Conqueror may perhaps have been the inspiration for the Thanatar Calyx.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Which is like the giant las cannon one rather than the plasma mortar.
I tell you what, I can't wait to get that giant. The Thanatar, mate. Oh.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be like 70 quid and I don't care.
Yeah, I can have a third one. I'm okay with that. It's one of my most favourite models ever.
Oh, it looks so good. So good. Can't wait for the Mechanicum. If I can't get a box this weekend, I am actually going to be sad. Like, quite upset and sad. So,
One way or another, we'll get it sorted.
yeah, fingers crossed. So, yeah, then we've got, obviously, more Dreadnoughts. You've got the Banshee. Then you've got the Orc ones. And that's your Dreadnoughts. And then there's like, more Eldar. Ha! Surprise, cockfax.
Yeah. War Walkers, which
Walkers.
are still fairly unchanged, except that the more recent ones actually gave the poor bastard a cockpit instead of just a power field.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, they stayed like this all the way through to the most recent redesign.
Pretty much.
And it is just 2 Eldar weapon platforms stuck on top of a set of legs with a seat.
Yeah.
They're like, off you go, mate.
I do like the Wasp variant that Forge World did.
Yes, that was really nice.
Got 2 of those.
I actually thought that the Eldar stuff was some of Forge World's finest work, especially the vampire. The vampire.
Yeah, the vampire was a raider and a hunter.
Yeah.
One of them was just like, your Titan's gonna die, and the other one's like, there's 40 dudes that are gonna mess you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it was 40 people that it could carry.
Really nice stuff. But then you've got the Affinity Circuit comes in here.
Yeah.
Phoenix Warriors. All being developed. So even if you didn't do Space Marines, it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Eldar.
Although Spirit Warriors here are not Wraith Guard. They're different.
No, they're not.
Very different.
They are. Yes, they are very different. But the
But the Ghost Warrior term got
Ghost
carried
Warriors, yeah, I was going to say the Ghost Warriors would carry over, especially for Yanden. Was it Yanden?
over. Yeah.
Yanden, yeah.
Because my orange and blue Eldar were based on them.
Yeah,
but I was like, I ain't painting yellow.
The lads that got fucked up by the High Fleet.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Assassin class Ghost Warrior, move 6. You're like,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a Wraith Guard.
It's not a Wraith Guard. Definitely not.
Weapon skill, ballistic skill 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a cool little addition. I really like it.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, we haven't really got Tyranids here, and you've even got Vampire class Spirit Warrior.
Yep.
Vampire
Can't
class.
name.
Bit weird, but
Executioner class, Assassin class.
yeah, there's some nice stuff. Some nice stuff in it. Yeah, Yanden. Yeah, I remember when I came to do an army for Eldar. When I bought my Eldar army in a Games Workshop Southend reopening sale. And it was basically buy 2 get a third free.
Nice.
So I planned out all my purchases and I got an Eldar army, and I decided to go for Ulfwe, and I was like, fuck off with my painting yellow. This is 2nd edition, you massive pricks. Your yellow paint sucks. I'm not painting yellow. So I did them black and bone.
Yeah.
And then in 3rd edition, GW copied me. Pricks.
I'd take that as a flattery.
I know, yeah. Well, mate, I tell you what. Not only that, they also copied my Tyranid colour scheme for Behemoth, and I was the first one to start painting Ultramarines dark because I didn't like the pastel blue colour. And I was the first one, and again, I don't like painting yellow, so I was the first one to do the Ultramarines dark and do a metallic shoulder pad rim.
Yeah.
And they copied that as well. I honestly started to think that GW had a camera in my fucking room. Absolutely ridiculous.
Didn't you work for them at the time?
I did, kind of. Yeah, more or less. Like I started doing the stuff before I worked for them, but I may have been still painting some of it while I worked for them. I can't remember.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, then
If you had any in the shop with you, and they kind of had a bod in, and they were like, we saw this guy painting these. I'll take this back to HQ.
to be fair, the Eldar I did,
Yeah.
and maybe the Space Marines as well, because I remember having a fucking go at some kid. We were using my models for a game. I can't remember why, and the kid was basically picking them up and throwing them onto the table.
Rah.
And I fucking lost it with him. I nearly got in trouble with my job, actually, because I fucking lost it with him, because I was like that. They're quite nicely painted. Fuck off, you little prick. I didn't say fuck off, you little prick, but it's like, that's mine, not yours. Don't break it. I'll break you in half, you little fucking prick. Anyway, back to chapter approved, page 74.
You'll be pleased to know that Alan is no longer in a public-facing role.
No, I don't work with people anymore. It's better for them and it's better for me.
Yeah. But hey, look, they simplified the vehicle rules.
They did, yeah, exactly. Which needed to happen, big time.
It really did. With turn radiuses and all sorts of madness.
Yeah, absolute mental. I mean, even here, there's just like... Can you imagine if it was like this these days? People would just have an aneurysm.
Yeah, the people's like, no, I'm going to go back to TikTok. I ain't doing none of that.
No, I hate all that kind of stuff, and I just don't. I don't go anywhere near it.
I love all the logic to this stuff. It's fantastic. Even though they've got another horrible old school land speeder there.
Yeah. No, I'll have to. That's a really nice piece of artwork, actually.
What, a land speeder?
Yeah, it's really 2000 AD. I really like it.
It looks like someone just photographed one of the actual models and then drew over the top. I traced it like.
And now that we've established there were no phone cameras back then, you saying you would have got one of those holiday cameras, sent it off to be developed, got it back, and then traced over it?
Yeah.
A likely story.
We're going to start getting into chasing Amy territory soon.
Oh, God.
Your mother was a tracer.
What's a Nubian?
Bitch, you almost made me laugh.
And then we get onto loads of rhinos, and here we'll find some rhinos that that Darren painted, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Yeah. Imperial Guard rhinos, apparently we let them use them. Ultramarine
Even a
rhinos
chaplain,
with camo.
even a chaplain got
his
their
own
black
ride,
ride.
yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
pimped.
Surprised there's not a skull on the front.
Imperial Guard 8 for the spiders, I approve. Flesh eaters, as you say, with their stupid little bitey hat. It looks like a hat, I'm sorry. And then those more. I loved damage tables. I love the second edition damage tables. I love them so much. They were so cool.
Accelerator jam.
I missed them. Yeah, exactly. Ah! And one of them just says wipe out.
Yeah, just wrecked.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just a flavour, an element of flavour that I miss. Wow, this one reminds me of Warhammer Monthly, the comic book they did.
Look out! Number 5, doors jam. All doors on the vehicle jam shut on a 1 to 3 or on a 4 to 6 fly open and cannot be closed. Jam doors can be opened if there are troops inside. Roll a d6 at the end of each turn. On the score of a 6, the doors are prized open. If the doors fly open, d6 randomly determined occupants will be thrown out of the vehicle and may take damage if the vehicle is travelling at a speed greater than 10 inches. If the vehicle is open topped and therefore has no doors, e.g. a land speeder, a sudden jolt throws d6 randomly determined models overboard.
It's like,
no doors, eh? Still fuck you.
I'm having fun.
Just so good. All the old rules.
Quite magnificent.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I miss them. I really do. I miss the tables. I know we didn't have so many of them in later years, but the ones we did still have, like the Chaos Events table and stuff like that, was just the Warp Storm mishaps and things like that. Was so fun. And then introducing a massive part of 40k, the Land Raider.
Yeah.
With, as I say, a very comic book looking style of artwork.
It's a very funky perspective.
Yeah, and I love the perspective. It's awesome. That's so what makes it so comic booky. Does literally remind me of like Warhammer Monthly. I've got all of Warhammer Monthly downstairs, and it reminds me of those. That sort of that style of artwork. I need to read those again at some point. They were great.
That was Andrew Wildman drew that.
Okay. I don't think he did anything for Warhammer Monthly, but I do recognise the name. He's definitely a 2000 AD boy. And it shows.
It does show. Definitely.
So, yeah, very cool. And obviously, Land Raiders are largely designed on the World War I tanks.
On the Matilda, yeah.
Yeah. And that's an enduring design, but that's an awesome piece of artwork. I really like that, man. That's really cool.
Hopefully that door on the Land Raider's not jammed open.
Like, if they do a 40k colouring book, I want that in it. It won't be in it, but I want it in it. And then, all your rules for your Land Raider, including dead zones.
Yeah, where you can't fire.
Like in Pitch Black, you just stand right in front of it. It's like, can't see me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, really cool. Here you go, Space Marines. Camouflage is the colour of fear. I have no need to hide from my foes. I have no fear of depth. My colours I wear openly. They proclaim loud and in any words. I am proud to live. I am proud to die. Commander Carab Colne.
Red Scorpions. Ironically, destined for a dreadnought.
Indeed, yes. But
if only you'd have worn more camouflage, maybe you'd have been fine.
Mr. Colne, I take umbrage at that, because if I remember correctly, Fuck, what page was I on? It's gone all the way back up. Sorry about this, team. I might edit this bit out, actually, because no one wants to see it scroll. Okay, it's not actually camouflage. All right, Colin, we'll let you off.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
Just a mess, yeah, exactly. It's not actually camouflage. Where were we?
Yeah, so the sponson weapons had like a 6-inch dead zone at the
yes,
front and back.
yeah, exactly.
But hull-mounted weapons covered that. And curiously, the old school Land Raiders had a rear-mounted hull weapon.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Long gone.
I've gone way too far. Fucking hell.
You have.
Fucking
as
hell.
usual.
I saw the robot stuff. Oh no, not the logic tables, Matt. Not the logic tables. God.
Soon, my friend.
I forgot we've got to cover all that. Fuck me. Fud guns, tarantulas.
Still got my third gun. Well, metal
Oh
one.
my! I've just realised how much of this we still have to cover.
Don't look. Just carry on.
I'm gonna have to cut some. I'm gonna have to cut some of this episode down. But yeah, you got your Predators there, and I love that Predator. Still my favourite design of
It's
Predator.
classic. Still got one of those as well.
Fucking brilliant. Love it. All your tables, all your 20 to 72-inch range, long range. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then 40k bikes.
Yeah, Kickstart got its own name for bikes. Crazy design studio bike dudes. Like their bikes.
I can't take the trikes. I can't take the squat trike seriously, Matt. I just can't.
You don't need to. The squats did that for you.
Fucking hell. It looks like you put a toddler on a fucking Tonka truck or something.
It's the beardiest toddler I ever did see.
Your child's remarkably hirsute.
Yeah, I actually, when my child was little, I actually got like a beanie hat that had a beard woven into the bottom half of it. It was brilliant.
Fantastic.
I think she loved it. I think she occasionally still mentions me to get her one now, and I'm like, I'm not too sure if that'd go down very well with everyone else.
Nah, do it. Be a laugh.
Don't wish to confuse my child at this age.
Every else can have a sense of humour. I'm sure your child is sensible enough not to get taken in by a mere hat.
You'd say that.
And then so the next one, chapter approved, they actually flat out say, look, this time we're taking a look at the new Devastators box from Citadel Designers. So they are tying it into products, which is really cool, but they're putting the work in as well. Do you know what I mean? This isn't just like, here's an advert. It's like, here's all the rules you need. So you've got tarantulas, you've got mole mortars, you've got the land speeder.
Tarantulas that used to move.
Vapors.
You know, like a tarantula can.
Well, yeah, I can confirm that sometimes tarantulas do move and sometimes they don't move. Sometimes tarantulas just sit there waiting for food to come along.
Yeah, but they can.
As somebody who's sitting no more than 2 foot from about 50 of them.
Look, movement 6 tarantula profile.
Yeah, they definitely move faster than that when they move.
Also has ballistic skill 5, which they certainly don't now in Epic. But
certainly don't know. But yeah, tarantulas are really cool. Yeah, really cool. Land speeders, mole mortars, rapiers. And again, the rapier, almost exactly the same even today.
Yep. Yeah.
Fud gun. With that template.
That template was great.
Put it together with split pins.
That's it. That was it. Yeah. Scatter the first one down, and then you just roll like a D12.
And then the Hive Tyrant Venom Cannon used the same one.
Oh, did it?
It did, yes.
With 4 blasts for a Venom Cannon?
Yep.
God damn.
Nasty.
I mean, like 3 or 2 I would have understood, but man.
No, all 4.
4? Oh, look, and there's the Imperial Guard land speeder, notably with a different armament to the Marine one.
Indeed, a giant plasma cannon. And presumably, if you're a little bit taller, you got your head melted off, so they can only have short lads in this.
Yeah. Why is the top of my helmet flat?
Rather than being, you must be this tall to ride, it must be if you're taller than this, you cannot ride.
Yeah, exactly.
In danger.
But that's something that they carried over into Epic, like into Legions Imperialis, but for Marines. Is that there's 2 Proteus land speeders and the loadouts are different.
Oh,
one
nice.
Of them is. Oh, mate, now that I've literally said it, it's vanished out of my head. One of them is, I think it's a multi-melter and a heavy flamer.
Okay.
And the other one is a plasma cannon.
That's a nice little touch. But they are strictly Astartes, no Imperial Guard.
Yeah, no, they're not Imperial Guard.
This is a fantastic fort for the day. Very grimdark, very 40k. Cease purpose and die.
Fantastic.
That's very motivational, Sergeant. Thank you.
No, that's going to be from the chaplain. That particular poll, surely.
Well, yeah. I guess maybe it's yeah.
I have to look up those land speeders now. It's going to bug me.
And then you've got craters. So yeah, rules for craters with an awesome piece of artwork. Really like this piece of artwork.
Yeah.
Love the orc with the thing stuffed in his face, and he's got a screwdriver attached to his armour. It's just like, yeah, it's so cool.
A multi-melter. Design's barely changed.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's almost identical, isn't it, to be honest? Fool's getting wrecked. Space Marine with a rhino horn on his nose for some reason.
Yeah, it's an odd one.
Because why not? You know.
Must have been a forerunner to a Chaos Terminator.
But I love the way you've got rules for making craters. That's very cool.
Not mating craters.
Not mating craters, no, making craters. Because over the course of a battlefield over the course of a game in 40k, the battlefield doesn't actually change.
No.
It stays the same all the way through. And that's a little bit of a shame. So that's really, really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get through this as quickly as we possibly can.
But no, I was right. It's a multi-melter and a heavy flamer, or a plasma cannon and a heavy bolter.
Ah, cool. Okay. So the models might have been devastatingly simple, as you can see here.
Yeah.
The rules were not. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is just the bit where they get their table fetish out of the way.
Yeah. It needed to be done, I think.
Oh my God, here's your build points and power plant build points, and just you can see why this didn't make it into second edition.
Yep.
But yeah, absolute craziness. Absolutely, build your own robot. Simple as that. Want to build a snowman? Fuck off. Build a robot instead.
Interestingly, never mind. I'm looking at a different thing. Ignore me completely.
Which is all well and good. I mean, tables are fine. That's all fine. But then when you get to robot program instructions, I start to get upset.
Legio Cybernetica. So good.
Jesus. Simple sample program 1, sample program 2. And like, I get it. It's cool, but I mean, just, oh my God.
It's so good. You know, some super nerd sat there for hours putting programs together for his games.
Was it you?
Not me. No, it wasn't me.
But at least they give you some. At least they give you some cut out.
Yeah.
Bits to make your own. It's like, oh my God. I mean, super cool. Right? Teaching kids logic. That's cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Logic and maths, not just fucking how to take a selfie. Yeah, crazy. Just man. Literally, just program your own robot. I'd actually, I would almost, I say I hate it and everything, but I'd almost love to see something like that make a return now. That'd be so cool. Great. But yeah, robots.
Yeah, robots, they've got their own phase. No, they've got their own phase. Look, movement phase, robot phase, shooting phase, hand-to-hand, reserves. Interestingly, reserves, like we probably said in our Rogue Trader video, reserves was not bringing people on from off the table.
No, it was basically, if it hadn't moved, it got to make a move.
Yeah, reserves was, your dude's too far to do anything. He gets an extra move. Yeah. Run him up.
Which is cool. A very cool idea. Yeah. I like it. So yeah, basically that's all about robots. Robots. Again, 2000 AD, somebody's been looking at the APC robots and was like, yep. We're going to put all that in there. Damage tables. Just everything. Absolutely everything. Madness. Look at it. Fucking pages and pages and pages of it. Someone's got a robot fetish. But then again, we'd see a lot of these come back. The Castellan robots come back. As you say, most of these were adapted into automata, which is very cool. And then we've got heavy metal section, all in colour. Very nice.
2 suspect characters there.
Crimson Fists. This one's got a hammer. I wouldn't trust him with a hammer. It looks well dodgy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. But yeah, well, once again, I've got no idea what the fuck's going on with that Marine with the propeller.
It's mental, isn't it? I mean, there's kit bashing, and then there's a guy on the Dalek.
And 2, I've no idea what's going on with the Davros over there. Adeptus Davros.
Come on, guys, confess. How many drugs were you on?
And then something that you never see, a prone Marine firing a missile launcher from the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Very cool.
Some would argue perhaps it's modelling for advantage, but, it's, if he can't see over walls, then it's not much of an advantage, is it?
And that Ali Morrison commander there, that gold commander. He's done subsequent versions of that loads of times.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Very cool. But yeah, I mean, like, just a totally different time back in those days, you know.
Yeah.
And there's Dave Andrews. And Dave Andrews, as far as I know, is still working for the fucking company.
Ah, nice. Is that the top one?
Page 115.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely crazy. But yeah, nice little addition there, got to say. Good old John
More
Blanche.
Land Raiders.
More Land Raiders.
One of them's a spider, look.
It is. And one of them's a
Imperial
scorpion.
Guard.
Yeah, Imperial Guard 8th, I presume, because the 8 legs and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And then on to just a load of really nice inspirational hobby bit, where they kind of take rhinos and they're kind of doing like the historical military treatment on them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this brown one here with the battle damage was done by Darren, Mr.
Nice.
Matthews, as was the grey one. I'm guessing that it was his forte was tanks, I'm guessing. 2 rear views by Darren, misses. So that actually means that all of these were painted by Darren by the looks of things.
I think so, yeah. I know he also did a lot of Eldar as well, like Harlequins.
Oh,
I think he
cool.
was actually the first person to do the Harlequins for GW.
Well, now I doubly want to ask him if he had to paint those automata with Harlequin patterns and if it drove him crazy.
That's probably his practice before he moved to a smaller model.
And then this conversion by workshopper Tony Cottrell. Poor Tony.
Hey.
Moment silence for Tony.
It's okay, Tony. You'll end up at Fort Joel.
That'd be
The
fine.
best place to work there.
Hell yes. And then the infamous deodorant land speeder.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's very cool. I really like this conversion as well next to it. That's really nice. When you consider what scale that is and what those models originally looked like, that's a really, really good little conversion. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Michael Immings. Doesn't ring a bell. But it's very sort of borderline Blanchitsu's kind of Necromunda style, isn't it? Very cool.
Yeah. Very grotty.
Zoids. Remember Zoids? I had loads of those. Pain in the arse they were.
Yeah. I remember Zoids.
Parts required: a sliveroid Zoid kit and a small hollow plastic ball.
That's right.
Fair enough.
Yep, and there's a gunship there.
Yes,
Not
there
at
is.
all a cross between an Apache and a dropship from Aliens.
What do you mean? That's exactly what it is.
Curses, I am rumbled.
In the pipe, 5x5. Yeah, and then some Imperial Guard. Yeah, just loads of really, really cool models. Again, it's going to get you nice and inspired. Bit of a break before all the army lists that are going to follow, which is soon. I love the way that they mention they're painting yellow and they're not mentioning it takes 8 bastard coats.
It's the most expensive colour to paint because you need to get loads of pots.
Oh, just such a pain in the arse. Like, painting it over black was just the most stupid thing you could do. I speak from experience.
It just made a dirty looking black.
Well, enough coats and it looked like yellow. Very cool. Some nice artwork. Credo of the Iron Hands. So it was in the beginning, so ever it shall be.
Yeah, and a Space Wolf that's not changed much at all, honest.
Yeah, no, it's cool stuff, man. Very, very cool. So yeah, it's a Space Marine Army list, bringing in all the stuff that, you know, you've had previously, because you didn't really get the army list. It was more create your own stuff in Rogue Trader. So we'll just go through that real quick.
This was back when Marines had lieutenants, which left and then came back again.
Indeed, yes.
I think it was 8th.
It was 8th. It was the Primaris that they came back with. Probably one of the few cool things that it did. And then you've got a very Space Wolfy looking Space Wolf here. Very Space Wolfy looking Space Wolf. It's got a mohawk and everything. Very cool. Terminators, yeah, awesome. Just really nice. That's a really nice piece of artwork as well. I like that. Power shields, standards. Just no, oh god, look at the camouflage. No, terrible idea. Bloody Space Wolves as well. Ugh. Poor bastards. More tables, because you need more of those. Imperial Guard army list, so yeah, same again. Platoons.
Good looking beakies, though.
They are good looking beakies, yeah, it looks good. Beastmen.
Yeah. Don't see them anymore.
Human bombs. Don't see those anymore either, unfortunately. They got taken out. Bastards. What's the world coming to where you can't blow up your own men, eh? Especially to kill other people. Lunacy.
You say men. Really, they were just dregs.
Basement ogrins. Collar detonators. Beep, 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 beep.
Yep.
Night, night. Yeah, no, this is really cool. Really cool stuff.
Huh.
Proto-Elysian drop troopers.
Ally contingents for the Imperial Guard. Legionnaires Astartes. Squats. Rogue Traders. Adeptus Arbites.
Oh, wow.
Imperial Assassins. And Harlequins and the Ordo Malleus.
Ah, nice.
When an Imperial Guard force faces an enemy which includes demons or possessees, the force commander may seek the specialist help of the Ordo Malleus. The feared Eldar Harlequins too may deign to join a non-Eldar force as it fights against chaos.
That makes sense, yeah.
If the guard's enemy contains demons or possessees, 25% of your army's points value may be spent on the other Ordo Malleus. Oh, on either Ordo Malleus or Harlequin allies.
You had to take an Adeptus Mechanicus per land speeder or Castellan.
That's a very early engine seer there.
Very early.
With a Tech Marine, I think.
Sanctioned Psychers. Awesome. Very, very cool. Ogrins. Human bombs. 5 points each. Redeemed sinners. Interesting.
Well, I'm sure they only redeemed that.
Redeemed in pieces. Yeah, all there. Egg Sentinels. Squads! They were silly. Squats were silly. Some lovely artwork there. That dwarf artwork.
But they were cool.
That's really nice. Like that a lot. That's really cool. Squat physiology. Living ancestors.
Yeah, it's all there. Strongholds, engineers, geared, guild.
Awesome. Scott Society. I might have to give this a good read at some point, actually, you know.
It's very good. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Exo Armor was their equivalent of Terminator.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Been a long time since I've read this book. Long time.
Still got a few of those.
Another really, really nice piece of artwork there. These double spreads are so good. Very, very cool. Screech template.
Yep. For doing one of those back end screechy, skiddy turns that I never ever attempted on my bike because I knew it would just be the end of me. But they look fucking cool though when you see what
Traitor squats.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit further up that says a whole bunch of strongholds fell to chaos to their eternal shame.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
Luckily, they don't have big hats.
No. Oh, God. Fortunate. They could have commissars, tech priests. And then harlequins. Oh, we're near the end now, thankfully.
Yeah, we're getting there. Actually, I need to have a really quick look.
Jez Goodwin piece of artwork there, the dance. In fact, this is all Jez. Because obviously Jez did the Eldar.
Yeah.
And the harlequins.
Got a whole book on them.
Oh, yes, he has. You know what? I've got that signed by Jez.
Nice.
I would kill for a copy of the Dark Eldar one.
I didn't realise it did the second one.
Yep, there was a Dark Eldar one, and it is nigh on impossible to get. I mean impossible. But yeah, this is all Jez Goodwin stuff. All Jez Goodwin. It's great. Harlequins, Harlequin Mask, Harlequin Kiss, Shuriken Cannons, Hollow Suits. Is it Solitaire here? Or is it the Shadow Seer? One of them's missing.
Shadow Seers, I think they just had as normal psychics.
That might be it.
Might have been a warlock.
High Avatar, Harlequin Troops, Death Jesters are there. High Wall. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, with the no mask. It's got no mask. Yeah. So that turned into a Shadow.
And there's a Solitaire.
Yeah. So the Solitaire is there. So it's the Shadow Seer then. Yeah, that needs to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was originally just a High Warlock. But again, all your tables, all your stuff. Harlequins could have heavy stub guns for some reason. I'm not going to judge. Harlequins could have
fucking machine
bionics,
gun.
apparently.
Well, they're going to get busted up at some point.
And then they also had lots of psychics. And Land Raiders. Harlequins could have Land Raiders?
Yeah. I remember those, yeah.
The fuck? Whose idea was that?
Orcs could as well, but they looted them.
That makes more sense. And then to round things off, we have got this magnificent piece of artwork that I have in full colour.
Nice.
And I actually have a print of this, and I got it from GW, and I can't remember why. I presume it was like a Warhammer anniversary thing.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely piece of artwork, and I really should get it framed. Very, very cool. And that brings us to the end of the Warhammer 40,000 White Dwarf Compendium.
Yeah.
And it's a fascinating look at the evolution of Rogue Trader and just seeing it slowly morph into second edition. Because I think we have got a few more books to go before we get to second edition. We've got the Astronomicon, I think it is.
Yeah, and the vehicle manual and
vehicle manual and battle menu.
But I don't think those will be anywhere near as...
No, I think what we'll do is we'll do the vehicle battle manual in one go.
Yeah.
And then maybe have a look at the Astronomicon separately.
Yep.
I'll give them a quick preview first. But yeah, awesome. I really do need to... I mean, like when you think about value for money... I don't think there's a recommended retail price on these because they don't tend to back in those days. Like there's so much game content here.
I mean, it would only have been like, what, 13 quid, I reckon?
Yeah, tops. Their codexes... I remember buying my second edition Tyranid codex and it was 12 quid. Yeah. And it's still one of the best codexes. It's so fucking good. Like, from a rules perspective, the third and fourth... I never saw the fourth, but the third was difficult to beat because it had all the bioengineerable biomorphs, and you could like build your own Tyranid and stuff like that. Obviously, a load of Tyranids aren't in this, and I don't know if they appear in. Presumably, they do not appear in the vehicle manual. I don't know if they appear in the Astronomicon. It might be that it was something that happened during second edition, but when we get to second edition, I do want to go through as many of the different codexes as we can. Because this is, I mean, not now necessarily, but when we get to second edition, that is my time. That is my time for 40k, and that is when I most fondly remember 40k is second edition. Even though some of that's with rose tinted glasses and stuff, that is when I remember 40k, and when I remember most enjoying 40k and the narrative and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. But this was a good laugh, mate. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. It's always interesting looking at the old stuff.
It is. It makes me sad in some... It makes me impressed in some ways because I see these little touches that GW do continue to bring across.
Yeah.
Like the Mechanicum stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, that's so cool that somebody still cares about that. But at the same time, I look at the amount of character and depth and randomness and just cool shit that happens in these. And I'm just like, it's all gone.
Yep.
You know?
It has.
And it wouldn't be gone during second edition, but certainly by the time you get to 8th, 9th, and now with the wreck that is 10th, it's just all gone.
I didn't even speak of it.
In the name of them just having a game that they can sell as being competitive and get to 100 points and wipe models off the table. And
yep.
I think there's something intrinsically sad about that. But we'll grab we'll dig the next one out soon. Jordan Sorcery doesn't seem to be catching up with us anytime soon or anything, so I feel fine about just carrying on as we are. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane with us. We will be back for another one soon, but until then, we will catch you guys later.
Cheerio.